What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, it's me again, LaShawn Bridges. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. As each week, I discuss with you guys politics and the uprunning Democratic presidential candidates for year 2020. All right, I know you guys, I am late. I know the debates have gone and came and left, but I had to talk about it, okay? Because I've been busy doing a project, so I'm sorry if I'm just now getting with you guys about this whole debates that have came and left with Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but I'm definitely going to give my opinion about it because I definitely was watching the debates between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I definitely took a lot of notes, and I said, you know what? I can't let this debate pass up. I have to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it, okay? All right. Now, the presidential debates. First of all, the first question started off with discussing the coronavirus and asking about how the candidates would lead during the next stage of the coronavirus. Now, Trump kept pretty consistent in his answers, which he's been through this whole pandemic. He stated once again that he felt it would go away. You know how many times Trump has stated that he thinks this pandemic would just wash away and we'll live happily ever after, so to speak, and that's not true, but that's what he said. Now, then Trump started lying to the public about how he's been handling this coronavirus pandemic, stating how he's giving, out thousands of ventilators to hospitals. And when I heard him state this during the debate, I was like, what are you talking about? First of all, how many times governors have came to Trump asking for more ventilators, begging for the Republican administration to, make sure that they have ventilators and the equipment that they need for the hospitals to have protective gear and masks, and the list goes on and on to help provide for this coronavirus pandemic, and dealing with their patients. And they did not get enough ventilators. And so now Trump is stating that he gave thousands of ventilators, and he's acting like he's been on top of his game from day one, which we all know that is not true, but that's what he stated during the debates. Now Joe Biden, he smashed back at Trump and started giving the absolute truth and where it lies with this whole pandemic. Biden stated that there are 1,000 deaths of the coronavirus a day. And he also stated how we will have another 200,000 Americans dead if Trump stays in office. And I definitely agree, because Trump is not taking this coronavirus and has not taken this coronavirus serious at all. Now, Biden stated how we need rapid testing, and he was talking about the national standards, and he discussed how we need to be safe, when if we're going to try to open up these schools. Biden discussed how Trump administration did absolutely virtually nothing. And they did very little in helping with this whole pandemic, and they did not take it serious. And Biden was trying to prove that, I believe, during the debates. And he did a very good job in proving this. Now, despite what Biden stated, Trump lashed back and said, we can't lock ourselves up in a basement. People can't do that. And I was just like, okay, I get what you're saying, Trump, but I don't. I understand that he's trying to base this winning of the presidential campaign, and he's hoping that he get all these votes and everything by based on the election. And I get that, on a good economy. He's basing the whole election, on a good economy, and I get that. But at the same time, it's not about people locking themselves up in the basement. I believe Biden is right. It's about safety first, and that the health of the people is the main concern that I believe that Biden was trying to address during the debates. And he's saying that, hey, we can't open up these schools and these businesses, and the problem is still there, and we have not solved the problem. Now, then Trump lies and states, that there are 99.9 young people recovering from the coronavirus. Now, I haven't read anything about that. Matter of fact, I do believe that on CNN and other media sites, they were stating that, there has been cases of younger people steady getting the coronavirus, but that doesn't mean that they're going to recover, right away. And that, a lot of them do recover, but not all of them recover. There are some that don't recover. But I don't believe that statement. I'm sorry, that Trump was stating. I don't remember also that Dr. Fauci stating anything about young people recovering that fast from the coronavirus. I know he said that younger people are maybe more in recovery than the older people, but, it's not really counted that 99.9% of young people actually recover, Biden then explained how we are learning to live with it. And he said to Trump during the debates, come on. He said to Trump, we are dying with it. And I'm like, thank you, Biden, for stating that, because Trump act like, that this is like the flu and everybody's going to get over it and live happily ever after. And that's not true. This is something far worse than the flu. This is a deadly virus and it should be taken serious. There are over 200,000 people that are dead that will never come back again from this coronavirus. And he should have been taking it serious, especially he's, going to be our president for now until we figure out, after the votes, who's going to win. Now, Biden strongly expressed his points about Trump consistently, stating even today that he has it under control. That Trump states, this all the time. That, and Biden was stating, we do not, Trump, have it under control. Biden stated how we need to slow down, do not open businesses, do not open schools, and get this virus under control. Those were his words during debate. And I definitely agree. I was like, you know what? Yes, I definitely agree 100%, Biden. We have, Trump has not did a very good job on handling this whole pandemic, and we need to get this under control. Definitely. Trump, as usual, being arrogant throughout the whole debates, I believe, and expressing that all Biden wants to do, Trump says, is shut everything down. And he did a crazy job of trying to place the blame on Biden and make him look like this big monster, through debates by expressing that, Biden doesn't want the economy to get back to normal. He doesn't want people to go back to work and the schools and us to get back to life. But Trump, we can't get back to life. We don't have a cure for this virus. They're testing certain, people to see if certain cures will work. But until then, we don't have a necessary cure for this virus. So until then, we have to, think civilized, and we have to believe that, this virus can take people's lives, and it can take people's lives at a very fast pace. And we need to work on this very fast and very quickly. And if we don't work on this very quickly and get this under control, our economy will never get back to normal again, I believe. Now, the question also in the debate came up about what would you do about other countries interfering in the elections? And that, to me, I felt like was a very good question to ask the candidates. Biden starts talking about foreign countries like Russia and trying to interfere with the elections. And then he stated everything that is going on about Russia is so that they know I know them and they know me. That's what Biden was stating. Now, during the conversation on foreign countries, Trump tries to lash out again at Biden, stating that, Joe, you got $3.5 million from Russia, Trump stated. And he came after Joe about that. And then he said, someday, Joe, you will have to explain why. So he was literally attacking Joe during the debates, basically trying to point out that Joe has some kind of corruption going on that he's not stating with Russia. Biden also explained how he has not taken, not one penny from any foreign source ever. That's what Joe Biden stated back at Trump, letting him know that, hey, you can point the finger all you want, and I'm not the blame of this. I have not taken any money from Russia. I don't have any ties with them like you do. Pretty much that's what he was saying, and I believe, and he did a good job of, stating that to Trump. Biden, during the debates, also lashed out at Trump in bringing up why Trump has not disclosed his tax returns. And I was like, you know what? Get him, Biden, because we all been wondering that, right? Why, Trump? Why are you not disclosing your tax returns if you have nothing to hide? Biden stated that, this was his words during the debate. This president has a bank account with China, Biden said. And I have released 22 years of my tax returns, but you have not. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point, Biden, because, Trump, he didn't really have anything too much to say about that because he's been hiding his tax returns. Biden then goes on to explain during debates how Trump needs to release his tax returns and stop talking about corruption and about that he's corrupt, because he needs to realize that he's the one that's, having corruption going on. Trump stated how he asked him a week ago, they asked him, what did he pay? And how they said tens of millions of dollars, but how he prepaid. And then Trump, he lashes back at Joe, stating how he doesn't make money from China. Joe did. So he basically was, did a good job of trying to put the blame back on Joe Biden and state that, hey, I'm not to blame. I don't owe no money. You owe money. You don't want to have times, and that's typical of Trump because that's what he does. He likes to pretend like he doesn't know what's going on half the time, but he knows exactly what's going on. And when he's in the hot seat, as you call it, he likes to place the blame back on the other person. And that's what he did during the debates. He placed the blame back on Joe Biden and was like, no, I don't owe money. You owe money, Joe. Now, Trump stated during the debate that, Biden had received that $3.5 million from the Russians, and he said he was very friendly, is what he quoted during the debates with the former mayor of Moscow. Now, Trump was trying to, accuse Biden of being of course, just constantly accusing him of being a corrupt politician. That's what he was basically trying to tell the world. Well, Trump, we don't know about all that. But what we do know, and CNN has definitely showed that there is a fact that there are ties with Putin and you have had ties with Russia. So we do know this for a fact. Now, despite both candidates bickering back and forth during the debates on foreign policy and the possible ties with all these foreign countries, I liked Biden's statement when he turned and said to the camera, this is what he quoted. It's not about, his family and my family. It's about your family, and your family is the one that's hurting. And I did, feel like that was a very genuine statement to make on Biden's behalf, to tell Americans, because, it really isn't about these politicians. They're going to tell us what we want to hear. Some of them, we should believe. Some of them we may not believe. Some things we go along with. Some things we don't go along with. But it's really not about them. When it comes down to it, it's about the American people, and about our families, because the working people and the people that don't work, people that have lost their jobs, we're the ones, the American people are the ones that are hurting in America, Now, the question about what would you do if people have health insurance taken away came across during the debates. And Trump discussed how he felt that, of course, Obamacare is no good. Now, we all know he's been bashing Obamacare from day one, okay? And he stated again during debates. He also stated how he felt that he would terminate Obamacare and health care for people who have pre-existing conditions, that will stay. And how he would come up with a brand new health care. Sounds good, Trump, but I was like, okay, when I heard this, what is the plan, Trump? I heard Trump state he would come up with a brand new health care, but he never stated what this will be. Now, Biden said he doesn't have a plan. And I agree, Biden. He doesn't. That's why he never stated it. Because Trump, you don't have a plan, do you? Throughout the whole debates, Biden kept explaining this. Every time Trump was trying to be stuck on questions like that, Biden would come do a very good job about addressing those issues like healthcare and say, Trump, you don't know because you don't have a plan. Now, I feel Biden did very good in this, and I feel that Biden is right. Trump never did have a plan, and he never will. And that's the reason why we're trying to, give him the boot out of the White House. Now, I did hear Biden during the debate state specifically what he will do if he become president. Biden stated that he's going to pass a health care with a public option, okay? So there you go, people. That's a plan. And Biden stated that he will reduce premiums, reduce drug prices, and he also stated the idea of Trump accusing him of eliminating private insurance is definitely not true, and he has no plans of doing that, and that he supports the private insurance plan, and that he will protect pre-existing conditions. So there you go, people. It's clearly stated, and it came from Biden's own mouth, okay? Biden stated that healthcare is not a privilege, but it is a right. That's what he said during debates, and how he will definitely save many of lives. And I agree. Biden really cares about the people. So I definitely feel like he will come up with a plan that will be suitable, hopefully, for all and affordable for all. Now, I love the debates, how Biden explained how Trump keeps talking about what he's going to do, but does nothing. And how he pointed out how Trump is trying so much to get rid of Social Security. And we heard him say this many times, how he's trying to get rid of Social Security, and how he tried to, matter of fact, do this 4 years ago. That's what Biden pointed out in the debates. The question also came up about the relief bill. And Biden asked, why haven't Trump, approved it? and that was a very good question to ask him. Trump placed the blame on, of course, Nancy Pelosi and stated that she is the one that made the deal. And Trump explained how the bill was a bailout for people in poorly ran Democratic cities. I was just like, oh my God. Okay, Trump, here you go. Here you go bashing people by saying, these poor people, these Democratic cities, and placing the blame on Nancy Pelosi. Okay, Nancy Pelosi did want more money. She wanted like over $2 trillion instead of the $1 trillion that they was trying to give her. At first, they was trying to give her $1 billion, and then it went to like, I think a little over $1 trillion, and Nancy wanted like about, I think, if I'm right, over $2 trillion. Okay, the reason why is because this plan, she wants for the American people this time. A lot of the money last time went to a lot of the businesses, and some of it went to the people. So Nancy was trying to make sure that a lot of the working people and the non-working people, the many millions of people that have lost their jobs, that they get money in their pocket. There are people that are hurting that don't have a home to go to. They lost their homes, they lost their cars, they lost their money that they once had, on their income that they once had when they was working their jobs. So she want to make sure that the economy is doing good again. And she wants to hopefully, while we're waiting for the economy to be boosted back up again, and while we're dealing with this pandemic, she wants to make sure that people have money. Now, I have some kind of, issues about that, because I feel like that, while she's waiting to have this bill, pass, the thing of it is while she's waiting to get this money, into the hands of the people, meanwhile is what she doesn't realize. Meanwhile, people are hurting. So we need to hurry up and come up with a plan to hurry up and put this money into the hands of the people so that we can move on with life, right? Because there's too many people that are hurting that while you guys are trying to negotiate back and forth, people are still suffering. So that's my only issue with that. But despite whether you and I like Trump or not during this whole debate, Trump, I'm not a Trump supporter. I repeat, I am not a Trump supporter. But I do say that Trump did just a little bit good in fighting during the debates from beginning to end compared to the last time he was during the debates. Remember, the last time that he was debating with Joe Biden, he was very rude, very obnoxious to me, kept cutting Biden off. He couldn't even explain any of the issues or explain himself on any of the topics because Trump kept being rude and wouldn't let him speak last time. This time, I think Trump did a pretty good job. So somebody was talking to him in his ear, letting him know to not be so rude and to try, to actually give Biden a chance to speak to the American people based on these issues. So he did a good job as far as in doing that. But I feel that, in my opinion, Joe Biden won the debates. Of course he did. Because he explained in depth, what his true plans for our economy is going to be, based on healthcare and education and the finances for people. I mean, he really, really answered a lot of those questions that American people have been waiting for. Biden proves that he truly cares about the needs of the people. He has been proven to show empathy about what's going on with the American people. And he will definitely, show that he will definitely get this country back in shape, in my opinion, if he becomes president. Because for one, he has a lot of experience and Trump has no experience in, being president or being anything dealing with, politics. So I feel like that Biden showed during this debates that being that he was vice president, that he definitely has a lot of experience to bring to the table. And he definitely will hear the American people and hear the cries of what the American people are wanting to get solved on the issues that we need to get solved. So, we won't know until November, but we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that, Joe Biden becomes president. Now, before I go, I just want to say thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And I want you to click the like button if you like this video. And at the end of the comment section, let me know, what do you think about all this? What do you think, Trump supporters? I know you're out there. What do you think about Trump? Do you think he did good this time during the debates? If you think he did, what did he say that made you think that he would be a good president for the next 4 years to come? Your, voice matters. And I'm going to be fair about it, even though I'm not a Trump supporter, but your voice matters. Also, to the ones who are Biden supporters like myself, What do you think about this whole, Trump and Biden debates? Do you think Biden did a good job? Do you think he's a winner, or do you think he's the loser? Or do you think Trump won? And let me know in the comment section, what do you think? There is no right or wrong answer. So I just want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this? Please continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as each week I discuss with you guys politics. Thank you guys for supporting me, and to help better quality videos and better research, and to continue to support me, I am now accepting donations. You can go to my Cash App. It's Political Sean. I'm sorry, $ Political Sean. Don't forget the $. $ Political Sean is my Cash App, and I accept any donations you have. And thank you for watching. Deuces. See you next time.